Sagittarius. I hope that you're all doing well. What I was seeing in the pre-shuffle was connected with a couple different like iterations of how this can be. One, there can be a job that you're learning about. There can be learning on the job that you're doing. If this is something that you're already involved in, you can be expanding in some way. This can also be your interest being piqued in maybe something that you want to be doing, and you can be researching that or getting more information about it. Yeah, you can be like job hunting or something like that. It doesn't only have to do with work though. It can be just about something that you'd like to do as far as like a life direction, and it can be something that you're learning about, whether you have a mentor that you're learning from, or you're just like doing your own research, or you could just be in the middle of doing something right now and you feel like you're learning a lot about yourself and maybe about your path and how you would like to have that kind of materialize within 3D. It seems like things associated with that and maybe what feels most right for you. We are starting off with Hanged Man, and we also have Six of Wands. Maybe there was a need for you to kind of like let go and relax. Maybe there was something that you had to kind of release control over too. Like as soon as I stopped trying to micromanage that, things became easier, and it even feels like this could be a method to you accomplishing something. Hanged Man can also be about important stuff that you realize, but not through force. It will be through an ease and getting into the rhythmic flow of things. That is how the Hanged Man works. If you had any delays as it relates to what I was talking about in the beginning, it seems like now things are, it's not only feeling like a play button being pushed, it feels like a fast forward even. So this can be like your career is really picking up now, or something that you were trying to get movement with, you're now seeing that movement and it's going to happen really fast. Whereas before it could have been like everything feels like it's suspended, and it kind of forced you to have to be like, okay, I got to throw my hands up and see what happens here. And now I'm seeing something really go in your favor. Definitely having Six of Wands and having King of Pentacles here. You can be moving to a place that you feel better about. Some of you can be moving in the direction of another person. You could even be getting news that you wanted to hear, or this can be like financial news, or it can be career news. It really just depends on like what specifically is going on for you. But whatever it is, this is something that you'll feel like you're no longer having to wait anymore, and that things are moving forward. Yeah, but this could have been, this looks like information that, it could have been a conversation that was being delayed from happening, or that was like put on suspension in some way. Information, news, some sort of movement, anything where there's going to be talk that's involved in this, and something that wasn't happening before, or you wanting to approach something and go in the direction, but like there was other stuff going on, or like it felt like you weren't able to take action in that instance, or something wasn't really moving so you couldn't move. But now I'm seeing that kind of be broken out of here. Yeah, I get the way that it seems things were happening before was maybe not even knowing what was going to happen in this situation, but then getting like the news that you want. Let's say it like this too. If for those of you, there are a couple different energies that I'm seeing here, but for at least one of the energies involved, I'm seeing someone that may not have been moving forward with something. So maybe you were kind of like in the right place at the right time, but somebody wasn't really showing up. It could have been that. I see someone shying away from showing up here. So whether that was you or it was something or somebody, like part of the process that you were involved in, I'm definitely seeing that, but then it looks like that's not really happening anymore. Like maybe somebody was even kind of getting in the way of things a little bit here, even if this was just you and you here. I'm going to clarify this because I am seeing a Seven of Swords popping up. And having that be between the Magician and Ten of Cups, this can be somebody that is not using their energy. Yeah, having Eight of Wands above it. It can be like somebody that's energy is very, very scattered. And even though it's like, okay, if we want to make this happen, we have to go in this direction and all the energy has to be directed to go this way. I'm seeing somebody that had been, like the energy had been scattered and it feels like it wasn't allowing for things to happen. And I wonder too, if maybe somebody like wasn't really being clear about what they wanted as well. That can be something here where it's like we're having a conversation about this is what we're trying to do here, but having Seven of Swords can have somebody like having like a different agenda that is not being exposed and is not being expressed. But it feels like, yeah, I'm seeing something very confusing here. Having Neptune and having Seven of Swords, this can be something that was not realized until now, and it can be something that was purposely being made to be confusing, where you couldn't get an accurate read on this on purpose. So this feels like it was something that was being done deliberately, and this can even be like one's own realization of, I wasn't really like admitting to that because maybe it was something that I didn't want to see fully. But if this wasn't you, it can be somebody that's been involved in this process where you're like, you just see that they hadn't been being direct and clear about something. But then I'm seeing information that looks like it clarifies whatever this is that had been going on through even a conversation, an important conversation that you have that puts you back into a place of self-trust that maybe wasn't there before. Because yeah, I'm seeing something where it's like, if we want to make this happen, we have to go in that direction, and somebody doing things that was taking stuff in the opposite direction but was doing it in like kind of a confusing way where it's like the difference between somebody outright being like no and pushing back on something and like knocking you backwards versus somebody that like has this invisible string that's pulling you backwards, but they're not really indicating that to you. I'm seeing something like this within the process. I'm going to clarify this further to see more. This can also be somebody not being a straight shooter too. I'm seeing Libra here. I'm getting something about the power of persuasion. I am seeing a Queen of Wands. If we're looking at this and this is your own energy, this can also be where maybe something was like out of order and you weren't correcting it because maybe it was something that you didn't want to deal with, but then it was like costing you something that feels really important to you. But it could have been something that maybe you didn't feel good about facing. Kind of like, I don't see this having been done on purpose. This actually feels more so to me like something that maybe you weren't aware of before was happening, and then becoming aware of that. And seeing that this was really just like actually getting in the way of things. But now it feels like whatever wasn't being seen is now being seen, and action is being taken, like things are being done. But there's something that still feels difficult about this particular situation. Because I wonder if you're becoming more clear on certain things that you want and certain things that are important to you, and you're seeing where maybe you're like seduced to go in a different direction, but it may not really be like what you want. But there could have been like somebody maybe influencing you a little bit here, but not influencing you in a way that is supportive of your intention. It like takes you somewhere else. So I'm seeing something along those lines that was going on in this situation, but it feels like it was actually like really majorly getting in the way of something super important for you. And this could have been too, like not really realizing what you wanted or what you were going to feel happy with. This was kind of maybe getting in the way of that, or it was putting off you achieving or connecting or moving within something that you wanted to be moving in. But now, and this can even be like a conversation that was being evaded as well. I see somebody that was maybe not feeling so good within their relationship with themselves, and maybe was showing up in a way that's reflective of that. But then this becoming more, there being more of an awareness over this. It's interesting seeing 6 of Wands and seeing 7 of Swords. I immediately get the energy of somebody that's kind of accomplishing things that they want to accomplish, but doing it in a way that they may not feel good about. So it can be like, this is my strategy for doing what I'm trying to do here, but there's something kind of questionable about that. Yeah. I'm also seeing Leo on the bottom of the deck. I'm gonna put, so whatever it was that wasn't happening, I'm seeing happen now. So conversation or action being taken, whatever it is, it feels like something needed to be seen through though. So this can be like, where am I avoiding or putting something off? Or where is somebody telling me one thing and then doing another thing, but I'm not paying close enough attention because maybe I don't want to believe that that's really their intention. And so it keeps me in the dark as well, because I'm keeping myself in the dark a little bit here too. Okay. And it could have really been not allowing things to move forward. So I'm seeing stuff get put off again and again and again. But now we have the new chapter that's opening and figuring out what's going to happen from here on out. I think too, like what's being recognized is the deeper intention of what one wants to make happen, and understanding oneself as the kind of creative director of that, and maybe also seeing what's been getting in the way of things moving forward, and maybe what one didn't want to see or didn't want to admit to. And that's the reason why something wasn't really coming together, or you could have been like really on separate pages. I'm also seeing somebody feel scared of something and they've been avoiding it because of that, or feeling like they can't do something. Yeah, this can be somebody that was like, it can be somebody that was avoiding something that they felt scared of, or maybe even knowing the direction that things were going in, but wanting to kind of avoid putting themselves in that position, even though it may have been necessary in order to honor the truth to do that. You know, it can be somebody that's been being scared of being honest a little bit here. But I am seeing now there being a breakthrough with all of this. Yeah, some of you, this has to do with a partnership that you're working within, that you've been investing in, and something that was feeling stuck. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting and tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.